Goedemorgen, Mr. Or simple. This is last month should you for it means 9 and 17 years because it's less one month and it into English and you result 4 became 5 as a sum of 5 plus 5 or 0 in the party and stay inch. It's January 5th, it's January 1st, sono totally first day, first Friday of this, the second day of this January 6th also of the year, and also the first, but also the first Friday of this year, 2026, Good morning. Miss. Or simple. That age. As this is the last time I showed you, last month I showed you the 4 in 79 years, but last was 20 days, 18 days that I showed you before, it means 9, 17 years, because in fact in 18 days it will be 80th birthday, and so the 4 became the 5 as a sum of 5 plus 5 as a 10, and also it will be the 0 in the 80th of the 80th birthday range. It's January 2nd, sono totally first Friday, so year 2026, also read the second day of this year 2026, also this January 2026, David, Mr. Lynch, it's like Mr. Lynch. Can you hear me from here? Because, and if, can't believe it. It's a Friday, once a day. In Naples. They are to middle sky, as perhaps one knows, repeat these cases, middle sky is the equivalent of a variable, so a clear day or sunny day stratosphere alternated with the clouds, or vice versa. In fact, it's the case of today, beneath mostly cloudy. It also seems, at the moment, it also seems very still now with the wind slight but cold. It's really, no, between the late afternoon 14 and 37, 55 for Fahrenheit, 13 Celsius, and this means it's really cold, like in Siberia, because coldest cascade that usually for the fact winter period in Switzerland, Portugal, for the several is because consider fact the channel was the many motor for years, last June 17 was fact video overcome for years with the reports during the last passes on as episode, remember if they follow the meaning last pass I think body. And also fact that video overcome for years with the reports for the autumn, now also for the winter we overcome it on 11 days ago, in fact by 12 days ago, because fact we overcome it on December 21 and to be present 16 and 4 and 3 p.m. in Italy, as perhaps someone know remember Fincarboreus. Yes, as perhaps someone know remember Fincarboreus, Boreus Chinese, suppose he did. I'm sure, but I said remember things for me, but the society simultaneously proposed that back to be issued to my this is better, and perhaps paradox for me, that is not significant operations for the spring and summer. The autumn is fact for the spring and sociology soft for the summer, the activity for the autumn and second soft, so that's general resistance to be as a ma si perde di crisi, altrimenti per me questo è finito sempre finito da absolutely incomplete, better, no, for this period, consider it's a good, so no, but when I say this sentence, I say the sentence absolutely incomplete, but when I say the sentence absolutely incomplete, it's referring, yes, I'm referring to me, or it's referring to me, perhaps I'm calling, in particular this period, for the fact that I also try to find a goal thanks to a series of practice I do and follow since some years to practice, and which I always I try to find a goal, and when they come this period, the winter period, the winter weather reports period, I always said another comment, or perhaps there's always another comment which I can explain what are these, per cui I can explain what are these practice, so possono sense figure I add this other complement, is a case inserted in an asterisk in first part of the comment, first comment, so because you see the comment section, see already the comment section, where I don't know for some people, for 90 I think not, because it's cool, in fact, for 90 I think yes, but 19% I think they feel cool, or I don't know, this depends on them, or in general, in some way, for me, also good, instead, but the scat also attenzione, I don't know, if I can say something is justified, it's good, not to completely, if I can briefly, as I'm finito on this one. It's a Friday once again, sono Cristoforo, sei Friday. It's a Friday once again, sono Cristoforo, sei Friday. It's a Friday once again, sono Cristoforo, sei Friday. C'è una bella Lisa. C'è una bella Lisa. Fantastic Electric, Blue and White, this is the 6th Razor in all the story, my weather reports. And yes, because also the previous, the beautiful 5, the 5 Razor. The beautiful black, red and white crash after 6 months and more than half I think yes also sullo sto conto si think at promise you at effect problems quick about breakfast at promise you at one day as soon as every time check better one day or one time so many times check better see you better this is Friday which I started to see which I started to show to you the previous factor X reason red and white and red, black and white, and so this is the new, obviously, it's really new because I'm using it since practically 2 weeks. It's obviously fully full of so now I see that my bear list is 30 minutes, so better I shave it in 30 minutes. And with this now, obviously, for the fact that it's really new, in one round, I shave it, so very good. I should do better once if you just before you see it well. So blue and white, another slightly different model comparison with the previous. Perhaps in some way it also indicates memories to me the first one record also secondo me repeats once again it's also the 6th Razor non storia con Waterport and in general moltissime fortune questa roghi su Waterport di 60 punti consiglio mi saccando il tapo sotto come dice mettiamo una che bellezza su sette si può anche se non faccio vedere mi music se mostro queste cose posso io o posso io sia per il gatto. In the ready after, I think at temperature I repeated just before 55 for Fahrenheit 13 Celsius at important thing the atmosphere that doesn't chill as before we were easier. Yesterday report in general shoes are most perfect. At least I suppose as I repeating sometimes shoes are most perfect. At least I suppose faccio una cosa da ripetere is pratically middle sky but si at video the opening clear alternative with the clouds or vice versa at according or considering what I read and see my sensations other things I think it's possible that later, yes, until the end of the day, might begin, I think, totally cloudy, So, yes, for me, I think it will be easier, and also that math if not transformance, even if some hours before it was already raining. So I think we are going to once again to the rain. We see, let's see what happens, but I think yes. But so is now sicuramente Pangea su Withers, si penso che sia venisse via, se ne scrive today, via. Bad, Max, attraverso le lettere. Bad, well. Proprio sullo contro, well è bad, more bad, well. Angela, bad, Max, attraverso le lettere. For some reason, quindi the new grey cortina swings. No, with the new white cortina swings since with the green flowers, longer flowers mix between the plants using the cortina since last number one and cuttings also November 1 also welfare third in particular the previous cortina the beautiful grey cortina with the beautiful interventions to rip and visiting the passage from the previous cortina to the other things later in meta so read in case one of my comments second section should be the point third and first comment perhaps fourth comment yes so read the comment section I don't know che nota si quella from the shot in anime notato si quella read in the shot in me I think yes green flowers see the green flowers longer flowers are mixed between the plants even better or if not even better surely better from the shot and such a practice is the first part of the video which Perugia showed you whether scatters in general from the window better from this window this classic window this classic room also the other window. Or also from another practice shot similar to classic shot film more than 3 years ago for the previous curtain visual repeat with the visual pentameter perhaps also for the first curtain color curtain if I don't remember exactly surely color curtain is still in the image of the channel and one day si sono in time to change it and this is shot also related to this effect both when there isn't the green shoot also when there is but when there is the effect si mention also read a little special sentence so in case also used for the previous curtain with the visual pentameter benches so in case also for the first curtain color curtain and also in case I use it for this new curtain sorry but repeat expression also in case for first times so yes and this little speech sentence is it is but also and always better visible for me in its entirety here in this shot at risipo antisemitico or legendary shot. La sigla che non è uscita not visible, ma per mistake not visible is first visible last October, but this isn't important because important is that also today is not visible, and also now I see you read the little special sentence used for the routine also for it because it's also valid also for it. So I repeat once again, but also and always better visible for me in its entirety here in this shot at risipo antisemitico or legendary shot. And finally, Roman medical keeper NGX Xanini 40 APG 625 also in this case antisemitico or legendary shot. Yeah, it's multiple people of the person. Yes, it's like getting a door. So I'm going to my sister. Also to myself, and finally, I hope you will have a great breakfast. Today, it's really late in general, also for my hours. Even if, as I said since 2 days, for my hours, I see that you think, in fact, in the last day of the year, it was if I see to you the fact that, for the first time, the fact that late not completed at all for my hours, because in this period, it's a sort of normality, but for my early, it's also late. Yes, every time, one time, experimented you for perhaps in another comment, yes, in general, we sleep, and yes, but l'importante è che tu still fare io contro quella che non nato di 3, 2023, tu sei stato lui, mi fa che non mi vedere nessuno mi detto, è stato io. Adesso fi cambi livetta, è stato detto, fin ne partiamo te, fu si essere su sfinche te record di record siamo nel 3, su saraccio, proprio ripete, lì close, se cadi record, lì late, from a late, from another late, not well, for my hours, they are just rolling, obviously, just rolling quote, 14 and 37 minutes. But, l'importing, se ci fosse sempre sette, insomma, io so due forti hanno tutto su, I'm really angry. Ma se io non so se... Ecco fa, si sono most buildings left world. Absolutely. Anzi, tomorrow suppose from today. Acolo until tomorrow with quello lepra. May I see?